Today we're talking sinking funds. What are sinking funds? How do you use sinking funds? How do I personally use sinking funds? How do I track sinking funds? It is all things sinking funds in this video, so stay tuned. Welcome if you are new. My name is Kelly Ann Smith with Freedom in a Budget, and my channel is all about living life well on a budget. They don't have to be constricting, but they give you freedom. On this channel, I talk entrepreneurship, saving money, making money, side hustles, investing for beginners, all sorts of really fun stuff, saving money on groceries, all sorts of fun stuff. So I hope that you subscribe, join the family. I have so much fun on this channel and just helping you guys out and learning from you. You learning from me. It's just so much fun. So subscribe to the channel. But all right, sinking funds. So what sinking funds are? Sinking funds are simply a money that is set aside ahead of time for a future expense. Now you might ask yourself, so what's the purpose of a sinking fund? Why do I want to set aside money when I can just pay for it then? So the purpose of a sinking fund is to prevent you from going into debt, to prevent you from having to be like, oh crap, we need to put that on credit card, or oh crap, we need to take a loan to cover this big expense. No, what you can do is set aside money every single month so that when that expense comes, you can pay for it, and hopefully it'll save you some money and prevent you from going into a lot of debt. So there's two different types of sinking funds. One of them is one that has a set amount. So maybe your sinking fund is for a new car or an emergency fund or something big like a new roof on your house or whatever it may be. But you have a end goal and you have a set amount that you want to save for this purchase. So let's just say for easy math, it's a $10,000 car. You want to save up, get a new car for $10,000. And let's just say for easy math, so I don't embarrass myself on screen, you have 10 months to save this car money. So what does that mean? That in 10 months, you're going to buy the car and you're going to pay cash for it and not pay interest. It's going to be awesome, like I did with my Jeep. So every single month from now until 10 months from now, you're going to put $1,000 aside every single month for that new car. So therefore, at the end of the 10 months, you have $10,000. Now, this could be same with an emergency fund or whatever specific purchase that you're about to make. Another way that you can do sinking funds is a indefinite amount of money that you need. So something like car repair or medical bills. You know that car repairs are going to happen. You know that medical bills are going to happen. Something's going to come up. Your kids are going to sick. You're going to sick. Someone's going to break a bone, whatever it may be, and you need to meet your deductible or whatever it is. So you may set aside $30 a month. And every single month, regardless of what happens, you put aside $30 so that when something happens 6 months from now, you can pull that money out and just cash flow it. Or if it's way over what you have saved, that's going to help soften the blow a little bit so it's not as bad. So those are the two different types of sinking funds. So one is one that you have a set amount, set timeline that you want to save it for. The second one is one that you just want to save a certain amount each month for an indefinite amount of time. And then when you need that expense, you can pull from it. The next question I get all the time is, where do I keep my sinking funds? How do I keep track of them? How does that all work? So I personally recommend keeping sinking funds in a high yield savings account. I use CIT Bank. I think they're the best in the industry. There are other high yield savings accounts, but I like CIT Bank. I have a link for you guys down below in the description box if you do want to sign up for them. But I used to keep them in cash. I remember when I first got started with sinking funds, I was so excited about them, and I made envelopes, and I was really confusing the cash envelope system with sinking funds, and they're two very different types of budgeting. They're two very different sources of resources that you can use when you're budgeting. So I had all this cash and all this stuff, and honestly I was like, wait a sec. Number one, this is just a lot of money, and I don't like this around my house. And number two, I could be earning interest on this. It may not be a lot of interest, but hey, interest and interest. So I keep everything in a high yield savings account, and then I keep track of each individual sinking fund in Excel. So in my monthly budget, you guys have seen my budget report cards, or if you're on my Patreon, you see them every month as well. Every 2 weeks I do a budget update on my Patreon. So if you want to be a patron with the Discord and all of that really fun stuff and all the interactions, really fun. But that'll be linked down below. But in my Excel budget, I have them all tracked in Excel. So I have how much is in each one, how much I'm adding, and then what's the end amount for each one. And then I keep track if I take money out. So Christmas, right now I'm doing Christmas shopping. So I'm pulling money out of my Christmas sinking fund and then just updating in Excel right there. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button. It really helps me to know what types of videos you guys like, what you want to see more of on the channel. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already so you can stay up to date on all of my new videos, and hit that bell notification so so you're notified every time I upload. Next is, what are sinking funds? What are some common sinking funds? So there's 3 different categories that I like to put in sinking funds in. So they are unexpected expenses, things like car repairs or medical bills, anything that's unexpected. Next is planned expenses, so things like car insurance. Now, some people will pay their car insurance every 6 months or a year, like with Progressive, and get a nice discount. But that first time, that sucks, adding that money up and saving a big chunk of like $1,500 at once. So if you have a sinking fund for it, then when the time comes, you just pay it off in full and you're good to go. So that is planned expenses. The third category is forgotten expenses. So this may be like annual fees for your Amazon Prime account, for maybe your password security, if you use something like Password One to secure all your passwords and those annual fees. Or maybe it's your kids' school clothes where they grew out of their clothes and you forgot to budget for school clothes. So those are the 3 categories: unplanned expenses, planned expenses, and then forgotten expenses. Common sinking funds that you may have, just to kind of get your brain working, is new car insurance, house taxes and insurance if you don't escrow them, medical bills, house repair and maintenance, taxes, Christmas and holidays, back to school, vacations, phone repair upgrades, just to name a couple of them. One of the questions I get all the time is, can I pull from a different category if something comes up? And yes, life happens. It's fluid. You can pull from one to the other. So say something happens in medical and you have, your child breaks their arm, whatever it may be, and so a big medical expense comes up and you need to meet your deductible. You can maybe pull from vacation, or you can pull from a different fund that is more fluid and you can go from one to the other and then just rebuilds that. Now, I personally wouldn't pull from a fund like house taxes. So for us personally, we don't escrow our house taxes and homeowners insurance into our mortgage. We pay separately. We just keep it in a sinking fund so we get that interest all throughout the year. I actually just paid my taxes this 2 days ago, just put the check in the mail. And so it was a good amount of money. It was $4,500, but I just saved throughout the year so that I can write the check in November. So I wouldn't pull from something like house taxes where I need that money at the end of the year, or else bad things happen with my taxes. I don't want Uncle Sam coming at me for my house taxes. So I wouldn't pull from house taxes to cover a medical expense. I would pull from something like vacation or new car fund or something like that, where it's not I need this money or else something bad is happening. So make sure that you're wise about what fund you pull from. But yes, life happens. You can always pull from one fund to the other and then rebuild it up if something else happens. Next question I get all the time is, can you have too many sinking funds? And to be honest, I personally think yes. So many people get so hog wild and they get so excited about sinking funds, and they create all these sinking funds, and the next thing you know, they have 10, 15 sinking funds, and they're saving for this, saving for that, and they're all excited. Well, when you do that, that means that the amount of money that you can put towards your debt, that you can put towards your savings, that you can put towards your investing, that number is going down, 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 down. If you're paying off debt, if you're aggressive in your paying off debt, or you're aggressive in your savings, or building up an emergency fund, or investing, or whatever it may be, you want to be aggressive in that. So make sure that you're not going too crazy with your sinking funds. Now, you want them to prevent you from going into debt, but you don't want too many sinking funds where you're not having any money at the end of the month because everything else is going towards your savings and your sinking funds. So just be mindful of that. And then as you become debt free, as you pay off debt, as you free up more money each month, then you can add more sinking funds. We have a lot more sinking funds now that we're debt free than we did when we had debt. Now we have a lot of them, and we're putting like $4,000 to $5,000 a month to our sinking funds. But we're debt free, so we have extra income that we're able to do that. So just be mindful of that, and then that's something to look forward to when you are debt free. When you do have extra money coming in from a business or a side hustle or whatever it may be, then you can put some extra towards your sinking funds. If you want to know some grocery shopping hacks, how to save money at the grocery store, check out this video here. And if you want to know some side hustles that you can do, some ways to make extra money, check out this video here. Hey, no, no, no. Hey, no, no.